Good evening. My name is Andrew, and this is I guess this is going to be my first video on this account. I'm using my school email to upload just school-related things. So one of my school-related things that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing some music, but more importantly, on this Thursday, I have a Social and Multicultural Foundations Warrior exam. And I have to really dive deep into myself and really ask myself some questions and also have citations. Oh my goodness. Which is always a challenge for me. But that's okay. I am ready for a challenge. But what I want to do is I want to answer a question now. I want to spend about 5 minutes. Let's see, I got a timer on here. Oh, okay, so I'll start at 2 minutes. So the question is, in what ways have you developed a sense of personal accountability to address and eradicate oppression in this world? Well, that was the question that I wanted to answer. So I'm going to take a moment, check in with myself, and then play a little bit and tell you a story. So just once in my life, I wish that I might had the good fortune to know a wise old sage lived just down the street, a place that you'd never think to go. Alone on the porch, rocked and cradled this man. His sight had disappeared. He was from a faraway land. See, his clothes were different, and his words were strange. His thoughts were similar, and yet, as I listened to him, it seemed that my life was rearranged. I took for a second, myself did I implore, a fascinating imbalance. What must I do to even the score? So I watched myself come anew. I thought about it for a while. It actually turned out to be that I held a smile. I once lived a life filled with so much pride. I understand just a little bit more about myself than that seems to be enough. And I once hated it all. And I hated myself. another man I was owing. Oh, this egocentric monopoly. I lost myself, I tied my chains, I'm broken and free. Now I must answer to love. It's my rightful due. It was 2 years ago. I was sitting on a bench. It was sunny. I believe it was a Tuesday. It was during the week. It was in the evening. I was getting my oil changed, and that just profound subtlety came to me that it was like a voice that says, my mission is to help and heal others. And as I help and heal others, I myself am helped and healed. And as I am helped and healed, my capacity to help and heal others increases. My personal accountability is really facing my own demons, facing my own past, acknowledging where I've come from, firmly taking root in wherever I'm at in this present moment, using the breath, using tools, using all these different skills that I've developed as a counselor, as a helper, as a friend, as a listener. I check in with myself and I check in with those around me, and I identify how I can best in this present moment eradicate oppression. I've come a long way. I've accomplished a lot, and I have a long way to go. Okay, so that is a little bit about that question. Okay. What is xenophobia? Give an example from the class readings, discussion, or films. Can you provide an example from your own life when maybe you have been subjected to or perpetrated xenophobia? Can you share an example of how you might work on xenophobia in yourself? To further develop your skills as a counselor. Xenophobia, to me, in this understanding I have, is both a intellectual and a physiological response to others. There is a systemic shock, if you would, to the individual who experiences this, an uncomfortable feeling, a sensation, and sometimes the fear of what is different, the fear of this unknown, of what another person could be or is or couldn't be, or what should be or what they shouldn't be, or they don't even know, or why don't I know, or it doesn't make any sense, or maybe it's all externalized and against me, and it seems I'm fully oppressed, the recipient of the xenophobe. Might look like hate, fear. It stems from a misunderstanding, a fear of, rooted in some kind of pain and used as some kind of defense. It's a protection. It's helped the individual, whether gracefully or maliciously, move through their lives. I think for me, the way I would approach working with xenophobia is a mindful, somatic approach where we really consider and probe and digest and feel these different thoughts and energies and sensations around aversion and around disgust. I think that there is an opportunity to explore ourselves and consider what makes us different. Because whoever we're being xenophobic against, they feel just the same, that they're different, but that you are too. So what are you going to do? So we look at ourselves and breathe, look deep within, and now I seem to appropriate a delicate fantasy. And even though I might not know which way to go, I look out to the sunshine and I see these faces around me, all looking up at the same sun. What have you gone through, my friend? Oh, what have you struggled, and then what did you do to overcome the hardships only you could know? And I really want to know why it seems to oh, I do, yeah. Oh, I do know. Frankly, God is all, and I give to you my sorrow. It breaks my heart to imagine what we ought to start dealing with our enemies, feeling the doubt. All of us goes away, go away, because you really seem to me to be a distraction for you. So I think that when we think about xenophobia a little bit deeper, there's a lot of uncertainty in it and ambiguity with yourself. When I feel fear, I feel ungrounded, and I want to settle myself. And sometimes I want to figure out a way to settle myself that might put others at risk. Self-preservation, self-defense, whatever it might be. When you're raised in a world where you can't trust other people, where you can't look individuals in the eye, or you can't hold a space with them without feeling afraid that either you're not worthy of them or you're not like them, that you're different and that you deserve less. You don't deserve to talk to me. You don't deserve to look at me. You don't deserve to walk across the street from me. You don't deserve to be who you are, because I'm not allowed to be who I am. Since I'm not allowed to be, neither can you. And so that leads me to the next occasion. So what is the difference between racism and racial bias? How are power and privilege related to racism, but not necessarily racial bias? Give an example from the class readings, the discussions, or films. And can you give an example of just how maybe you've observed or experienced racism or racial bias? So this is a G, this is an E, this is a G, and this is an E. This color's purple or violet or tropical breeze. This color's a nice baby blue. You did. Now we got navy blue on us. Oh, very soon you'll be through with all gotta be true. Oh! To you. So, taking a first person perspective, um, power and privilege. So, I am a white European American cisgendered male who grew up the fucking privilege with life handed to me pretty much. And I had no African American people really in my life that I can recall until I was in high school. Actually, middle school, I take it back. I think there was one person in school. They were there, and then they dropped out. And then there was not they dropped out, they left. And I think they left because of the racist culture that I was, the microcosm that allowed me to be who I am now. So, speaking of that microcosm that allowed me to grow and fester, there was a lot of racism growing up. For lack of a better term, I was told that stuff was in-rigged and all sorts of... See, I don't even like saying it. Okay, well, here's the context. It was always misused. My dad would say nigger rig. And it wasn't just my dad. I'd hear other people, maybe 4 to 5 adults in my life would say things like that about anything from like we cast in a fish and you reel it in and your fucking line gets tangled, and they would say, oh, this rigged contraption, like blaming an individual, a group of people. I get upset about it now, but blaming an individual, a population group, on something that they didn't do, that happened by chance, that is unfortunate, but even the association of unfortunate with the N-word, or derogatory, or negative, or scary, or dark, or shadow, or all sorts of fucking hatred, man. I was raised in a world of hatred, it seemed. And it continued to be reinforced until I got older. It was at times more subtle. Even when I went to church, it was like I went to a church with, like 200 people, and there was like one black family in there. I mean, thank goodness for diversity, but it seemed like we all had to go get our brownie points. And I know that, so I just caught myself. That was a microaggression, but that was like something that it seemed like we would. Microaggressions are a way to... I think microaggressions could fall under racial bias, but not necessarily racism. Because microaggressions are more subtle. They're not overt. They're hiding. They're like what I just said, brownie points. That was a kind of a way of equating color to winning special favor with African Americans. I don't know. Maybe it was a microaggression. Maybe you took it that way. Maybe not. I'm going to call it out and say that was a microaggression. I'll not explain it as one, but I feel that it was. And I think that me living the way that I've lived has allowed me to be racist. See, racism for me is more strong. It's more deep-rooted. It says you can't exist. You don't deserve to be. You shouldn't. You can't. You... Whatever is the excuse or the reason or the justification. Fuck. Whether it's internal, external, spiritual, or transpersonal, or whatever means or methods or reason behind whatever fucking... I don't understand, but I want to. I want to fucking understand how to talk to people who get so upset and so worked up and so uncomfortable with people who are different than them, and how to make those people who are feeling this oppression, how to sit with that, and how to really make inway and make progress and make peace that can change. I know it's one person at a time, but come on. I want to help more people. I want to make a difference more, faster, bigger. Like, seriously, it's more than fucking common sense. Uh, I always go back to Pink Floyd. United we stand, divided we fall, right? If we have differing of opinions, we're gonna fucking fail. It doesn't matter what the difference is. We have to come to an agreement on our belief systems, whether you believe this and I believe this. And you know what? If it comes back down to social constructivism of how to negotiate this, and we come up with some odd, eccentric way of managing these where we each get our own space, maybe some people need to have virtual reality gear and they can go in their own world, or maybe we can figure out a way to take care of ourselves only, and then have some fucking system where we can start interacting with each other again as civil people. I don't know. I don't know, but I know that we have to take care of ourselves. We have to confront our own biases, and when I say biases, I'm referring to inclinations against, not so much overt, blatant racist acts of segregation or oppression or limiting or, aggressions, macroaggressions, but the racial bias of the microaggressions, the slights, the invalidation, acknowledging but then declining any opportunity for privilege. I know I have experienced racism and racial bias. I will gladly admit that was part of who I was for a while. I was racist as fuck. I was in a scary position in my life, and I was frightful. I was scared, and I wanted to be angry and be hateful and feel that hate, and it protected me. And so it made sense. But I had someone who was African American, good Kenneth King. Cheers to you, sir. He loved me. He just loved. That's all he did is he loved, and it was great. He was so compassionate, and he listened and cried and cared so much. Even when I was fucking racist. Even fucking racist towards him. That's the best part. Oh my gosh. We watched the movie The Color of Fear in class, and this movie portrayed racism in such a way that says, "What the fuck, white man?" And it leaves me, this white man, saying, "What the fuck, white man? How blinded have I been my whole life, taking others for granted, taking color for granted, taking the way that I was raised for granted." So many deficits in myself because I refused to open myself up to others' perspective, to supporting them. I said I had a heart after God. But that was probably if you were of the same sexuality and genders. Heteronormativity, man, that's some shit. So let me talk about that. I think that's not a question, but that's what I'm going to talk about in this moment. Because I think it's for another class. So give me a second. I'm gonna see if, 1 second, hold on. I'm looking up Gorski. Okay, so Gorski's Introduction to Gender Diversity 2014. Let's see. It's so great. It blew my mind. Oh, heteronormative. Okay, so good Zagorski, Zagorski's definition of heteronormative is an adjective. The idea that the only way to be normal is to be cisgendered and cissexual, heterosexual, and a monogamous, of course, you know. That here, this thought that only normal people are the same. To be transgender, transsexual, gay, lesbian, or bisexual. Don't forget the queers or those polyamorous peers. They are abnormal. And not only that, but they are dangerous indeed, lewd beyond belief. So, this concept of heteronormativity, fuck, man, this is ridiculous. Like, until this fucking past couple months, I didn't really consider much my heteronormative lifestyle. We got a little bit involved with Connections, the GSA, Great Gay Straight Alliance, at Indiana University, Northwest, and I hung out with them. I did a couple mindfulness things with them. I was just trying to support. I was interested in learning more. I asked questions. I tried to educate myself by asking them individually, and sometimes I'm still ignorant. Still very ignorant. It's like, one thing I definitely picked up is that when someone is not heteronormative, and they are definitely between the ages of 15 to 25, they're just figuring themselves out, right? Well, fuck, our brains aren't fully developed and are changing, right? You add change to external stress, this epigenetic, epicultural foundation where it says that you can't be this way, that sees them as a danger. God forbid you should walk into a bathroom and see someone of the opposite gender. You're just going to the bathroom. Men, we barely have conversations. I know there's like, fuck, don't talk to me in the bathroom, right? Sometimes I feel that way. It's always a little like, I don't know how to negotiate that. I don't know. Girls talk in the bathroom. I don't know. It's just go to the bathroom, do it fucking cleanly, wash your hands good, and we're all fucking get along. It goes back to xenophobia, right? Fucking, it's like a phobic. God, fuck, just, anyways. I get hung up about that. Like, it's a bathroom. You're going to the bathroom. Use the bathroom. Whatever. Wash your hands afterwards. That's all that matters to me. There's people that wash their hands and there's people that don't wash their hands. I try not to judge, but I don't want to get whatever. So heteronormativity is the way that girls should be girls and boys should be boys, that certain colors or certain clothing should be for one gender and not another, that limits or isolates or whatever devalues the conversation, or I don't know, man. I don't know. So many it's like I've gotten to this point where in enacting it, like in life situations, I'm comfortable to say that maybe this is a violation of what was before cultural norm for me. I'm very easy to see like where it's cultural, like where I came from, where I was raised, where I was taught. Huh. So I think it rained. Oh, sorry, distracted. But I think I left my blankets outside. Slept outside last night. That's hilarious. Um, I love the life I live. Um, and so part of that privilege of loving the life I live is that I can dress in the ways that I dress according to manly standards, right? Certain standards that I assume people need to dress a certain way, or that they shouldn't wear a certain type of clothing, or shouldn't wear their makeup a certain way. Any of that I say that another person shouldn't do is just oppression. It's saying that you can't be who you are, you can't express or fucking experiment. Maybe you're trying something out for the very first time and fucking you get hate all day long, right? How does that feel? That doesn't feel good at all, right? We gotta try things. We gotta experiment. We gotta identify who we are. Fuck, you know what? If I want to fucking wear girl panties to fucking to work or school, fuck, I'll do it. Why not? I don't know if it'll be comfortable. I don't think I mean, I don't think that thoughts should be forbidden. I don't think that we shouldn't ask those hard questions that say maybe this is absolutely wrong and it shouldn't be that way. Maybe we can ask that. We can play with that idea. But we also have to offer the same fortitude and respect to the opposite side that says, what about us? That maybe I want to be this way. Maybe I want to be a different way tomorrow. And maybe in a week from now, fuck, I can't stand any way that I've been this past week. That's my shit. We got to be responsible for our own shit. So how is discussing issues of power and privilege uncomfortable for me? I'm bringing some music back. You know what? It's a stage. So I was working on I've been thinking about another way where I might figure out another way, and I've been noticing who am I to blame after all? I've been wondering who am I inside myself? See, I've been so fortunate to live, and I Cast away your sin. Once I know, I'll carry on, I will go. It's been difficult to open up to the life I've lived. It seems to be enough. And when you find yourself alone in front of you, sits a man who feels like he isn't welcome. Maybe you open up yourself to him. Once in a while, you might have to look within to find the answers, and then you can begin to help and heal all these wounds and open up to you. I think that your client might, just like you might, feel a wave of uncertainty in your soul and notice what happens and how to address it. Which way should we go? A matter of fact, well, I don't know, but you must realize that I've been terrorized. When you're working with a client and issues of power and privilege come up, such that they feel in the workplace or in their own family or in a relationship, they notice an imbalance. Someone's making other choices, someone's controlling the money, someone's not validating another person's experience, someone's getting all the credit and the glory, unfair share for ill-gotten gains. When these conversations come up, you have to listen. And listen as we are taught to be with ourselves, open, curious, present, mindful, and open to whatever they might say, what their truth is, what their experience is, what their reality is. And by doing this, by really reaching in and identifying what's going on with them and their situation, we might seek to strengthen our alliance in the therapeutic relationship. So there are a couple things, because I'm drawing a blank and I want to share a couple things. So with identity development, when we consider race and power, we have to consider how identity is developed. Each individual, whether white, red, yellow, black and white, purple, and all sorts of other tones and beauties and complexions and adaptations and corrections or customizations are all welcomed. So when we create and construct our identity, we always begin with red, right? Color. Ribbon's spectrum is going to be the rainbow. We love this. So it's red naivety. And we're naive to what's going on. We don't fully understand the world around us. And our relationship to our racism or our identities is still unclear. We have orange, conformity, where we choose to either continue the way that we have lived our entire lives, or we start to question some choices that we made, question some decisions, which leads us to yellow. The way there's a dissonance between our perception and our experienced reality enacted upon, whether physiological, sociological, ecological, ideological. There's a dissonance. What should be and what shouldn't be. Green. Resistance and immersion. Do I dare partake in this culture submersing myself in this unfathomable, unequal? Do I lay down myself for them, or do I raise my torch up? Cyan. Introspection. This is the time to look in, to really consider my current experience, both internal and external. Does this agree with me? How have I negotiated my immersion or resistance with dissonance? Conforming? Do I conform to my own naivety? Or do I seek to further understand? Indigo. Integrative awareness. This quality of really taking apart the entire system, piece by piece, component by component, and examining each interconnected relationship. Who I am, what I do, what I want. I take what all I have around me I sink it all into my commitment, my choice to carry on the way I am. I shall not stumble. I shall not falter. Or maybe I will stumble and I'll falter. And I commit to recommitting when I stumble. The path of openness, acceptable sentence. So, with identity development, we have to consider how a person may go through these different levels and feelings of experiences. I know I've gone through a lot of dissonance, and it's seemingly expected conformity. Like you're expected to conform to this way that is anaerobic. Just as you'd probably be expected to conform to a specific way in Nazi Germany. Ooh, that's a strong, strong attachment. But it's like you need to conform. You need to realize that you need to stop being a bigoted asshole and start loving people. Conform. Why not? I mean, it only makes sense. It really does. It's like if I'm a conduit for energy, for exchanges, for life, for lessons, for love, for experiences, then I should be open to everything. Open to that love, to that hope. If I close myself off, I limit all sorts of opportunities and experiences, challenges, ideas. I couldn't do it. But there was dissonance because it was like an internal vibration, an energy almost, where I felt like some resistance, like I shouldn't do this, but it's like it's not because I'm not trying to change. It's because like it's like a flood of information all at once, and so I'm trying to use my integrative awareness to figure out who the fuck I am, what's going on with me, and how I can commit to helping and healing. So kind of trouble within, and then again I wish I knew a little bit more. I ought to lose myself sometimes. My words, they seem to bury me deep down within my heart beating Christ who loves sanctity has found itself inside of me. I know just well that I should breathe a little bit and see. I look inside myself for the answers deep within. I'm no longer naive to the world that is. And who am I to resist? I must admit to you that I've been such a wretched man. I am filled with sin and sorrow lifts my heart, and I will then you see the truth. Don't you ever give up your search. Begins when you outside yourself. Know that you're going to be alright for a little bit, around for a little bit. It's all part of the plan. You must realize I got the world on my mind. Yeah. Know the world in my hand. See if only you would come to me and say these magic words, and certainty will leave you searching for nothing. Got that Holy Ghost love in the back of I feel the weight of the world is calling me. To you, I know what I must do to reach out to you. I supposed to be infused with love. I knew you. Well, I want to thank you, my classmates, my cohort, my friends, my support. Continue this good work that we are doing. Spread love, spread compassion, and sit with all sorts of fucking feelings and all trillions and trillions of thoughts you may have. Fancy them all. Love yourself. This has been Andrew Koch, and thank you for sharing this mindful moment with me.